What is going on, everybody? Soliday Holiday here, back with another episode of Kenshi. If this is your first time on the channel, we play all different kinds of single-player RPGs, single-player sandbox, open world games, and we also highlight tips and tricks so that way we can make your guys' game experience a little bit better, and we highlight mods, and we spotlight mods. And that's actually what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be spotlighting some mods, some of the lesser-known mods that you need. So, getting right into it, this is the first mod that we have is Hard Labor Uses Strength. So, the reason why I like this mod, and if you think this is cheating, that's okay, but I personally don't, because in this quote in the description, it says, if you're working with a pickaxe for weeks, you know you should gain some strength. And I agree. I agree with this. So, what it does is, instead of using your laboring for mining, it uses your strength. So you build up your strength, and that's what it uses. It completely negates laboring. You can use this for quarry mines, small copper resources, copper, iron, everything, right? And so another thing that it does is it stacks the resource, and this is just a quality of life thing in my opinion. It stacks the resource to 50 instead of 5. And I don't know, this might, I kind of consider it a little cheating, but you know, it helps out so much. Like, it's if you have 6 guys over here and you have one guy that you're trying to mine and gain up some strength, right? It makes it so that there's a whole lot less micromanaging, and I love that. And it made it a whole lot better. You're not having to constantly switch through and make them go to and micromanage everybody, right? And I thought it was a huge plus and helped me out a lot. So that's our first one. The second mod that we have on our list today is populated cities, all right? And what populated cities does is does what it says it does. It adds people into the cities. One thing about Kenshi that I mean, I love Kenshi. I love playing Kenshi, but sometimes it does feel really barren. And so this adds people, citizens, everything into Kenshi. On here you'll see the citizens are there's more citizens and they are more intelligent. Add several personalities. If you have a building owned in the city, the citizens will go to your store and buy from you. Like, it adds economy into the game. It makes it seem a little bit more alive. At the end of the day, blacksmiths will leave their store to buy materials, so that if you're selling materials, guess what, a blacksmith's going to come to you so that way they can buy it. And it just adds a little bit of life to the entire Kenshi verse, right? And I thought that this was really important. I felt like when I went into the cities, it was barren. Like, you know, there was no one talking. There was nothing really happening. I don't know. I felt like this added so much to it. The one thing that a downside to this mod is that it does take a while to load in. And the same thing with the next 2 mods. Whenever you come up on the cities, it does take a minute or 2 to load in. So that's something that you do have to be careful about and worry about. The next mod is Expanded Cities AI. And so what this does, if you download this, it doesn't do a whole lot. It doesn't change a whole lot. It does kind of affect some of how they act. Like, it even says on here, some NPCs might engage in crime or mug people. Just silly stuff like that. Trade dialogue. This mod doesn't do a whole lot, but what it does allow you to do is to download and use Extended City, World's End, or the Hub. And they have these for pretty much every major town in Kenshi. We'll start off with the Hub, but what it allows you to do is it makes the Hub. I don't know if you've seen on my Kenshi playthrough or not, and if you want to watch that, it should be up in the corner. But it makes it so much bigger. It makes it so that you that there's just more alive. Like the Hub, there's different gangs inside the Hub that they're constantly fighting and all that kind of stuff, and like shopkeepers will end up dead and all that kind of stuff, so you're not able to use that shop anymore. It just kind of adds some dynamic to Kenshi. So there's like I said, there's multiple different gangs and all that kind of stuff, and it just makes it more alive. The Hub is still a ruin. There's still so many buildings that are destroyed, all that kind of stuff, but it just adds a little bit more. And then for World's End, it just, like I said, it adds more. As you can see, there's so much more buildings, there's so many more people, everything, and it adds some life to the game. I understand, like, outside the cities where it's barren, there's nothing there, but inside the cities, I just wanted it a little bit more. I wanted a little bit more interaction, a little bit more immersiveness. And so these these mods help with that, in my opinion, and make it a little bit more dynamic. The sixth mod on this list is Swish Mods. Swish Mods, the East Coast expansion. So what this mod is huge. It adds so much. It adds different starts, it adds different gangs all across the coast. All right. As you can see, it's got 8 new factions, 11 new locations, unique recruits 12. There's a crap ton of pirates and that kind of stuff. It adds a custom start, Lost Skeleton, which is not a bad start. It's kind of fun. It adds so much. The Brethren of the Coast. Sincerely, this mod adds a whole lot, and it adds more dynamic because you'll find the Brethren of the Coast all over. You'll find them in the United Cities territory, all that kind of stuff. Metalbone pirates, they'll attack you all the time. It adds a whole lot. The Sohoy is a pretty cool area to go. I've gone there before in one of my playthroughs, and it's very interesting, and it adds a quest line and everything. It's a whole lot of fun. Like I said, I don't recommend this on your first playthrough, but if you're looking for something kind of new and that kind of stuff, I highly recommend this. And I highly recommend it. It adds a lot. If we scroll through the pictures here, these are just some of the new cities and that kind of stuff, and they are beautifully done. This is the Black Forest Pirates, I believe. It just adds so much and makes it so much more interesting. I highly recommend this one. All right, so the next one that I recommend, it can be a little buggy. It can, without a doubt, is Take Over the World. And what this does is it allows you, say you go in and you attack, say you go in and you attack the hub and kill everybody in the hub, right? And what you have to do is you have to walk away for a little while, then come back. The hub will now be yours. It makes it so that you can actually like take over the world. It's pretty interesting. I think it's awesome. But at the same time, it's really buggy. Sometimes if you load in a save, it will no longer be yours. It can be really frustrating. But it is a whole lot of fun if you're going through and you're just trying to take over the world. And it works. It does work. It's just a little buggy, and you have to sometimes come back and go. It's a little rough. But what it does is it adds people. Say you go to an ancient science lab. It will add a robot, right? It will say TOTW, and if you kill it and walk away and then come back, that ancient science lab will now be yours. So it's pretty interesting. I like it. It made for some fun experiences fighting the United Cities and the Holy Nation, but highly recommend it personally. Our next mod is Idle Training. And so what it does is it adds like a weightlifting bench for your strength, a punching bag for your dexterity, as you can see on the screen right now, a target for your crossbow. It adds a game for your perception, all that kind of stuff. And a lot of people won't like this and won't use this, which I understand. But in my opinion, you have to spend a fair amount of time in the training equipment to get leveled up. Like especially once you hit the higher levels, it takes weeks to get a level. So I highly recommend it. In my opinion, it's fair. It's you have to spend so much time in it that it works. And it also helps, especially in late game. If you have like a base, you could send in a new guy in there, and they can train up their stuff. So that way they're not completely useless, and you don't have to sit there and micromanage them. So I personally believe this is an awesome training mod. The next mod on the list is Bury Your Treasure. What this allows you to do is make a pile of junk, or a huge pile of junk, bury treasure, and it allows you to store stuff in there, so that way if you're on the run and that kind of stuff, you can throw it in there and come back for it later. It's a really simple mod. It's kind of silly, especially if you use this with the Swish Coast mod. It can kind of go hand in hand. You're like a pirate, and then you gotta bury your treasure. I highly recommend this. It's kind of fun. It's kind of silly. It places a map marker down, and if you don't like it, it's all right. Don't download it. The last mod on the list, and this is more for just fun. I don't even recommend using this in real game. What this allows you to do is to just build to your heart's content. It's kind of like Minecraft. You got a regular, then you have creator. This is creator on Minecraft, right? All it does is just allow you to build with no cost, and it takes no time at all to build. So if you're, it's just a cheat. If you're looking to have some fun, see what you can build, see how see like how big of a city or how cool of a city you can build, this is the mod for you. So if you want to check out my Kenshi series, right there, subscribe up there, and I hope that you guys have a wonderful day.